Welcome back to Inquiry everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I'm showcasing a deck I've been working on since the reveal of two of my favourite new cards from Reign of Jafar, Ludwig von Drake and Lady Family Dog. Amber Sapphire has been a basically unplayable deck for a good while now, but I believe with the inclusion of Von Drake and other fantastic Amber Sapphire cards like Thunderbolt and Restoring the Heart, it can finally be utilised in this aggro build. If you like Kiwi Birds and Churner Dogs, you'll really like this deck. Forget Alice Pluto lock, Alice Thunderbolt lock is absolutely incredible when you can pull it off. But more on that later. Let's start the deck off with the 1-drops. A core of any good aggro deck. Daisy Duck, Donald's Date. This card really needs no explanation, it's probably the best 1-drop in the game, and is a great Rapunzel target. Not to mention with all the Amber Steel song decks and discard decks at the moment, a big prize putting a Beyond the Horizon to the bottom of your opponent's deck can be game winning in some circumstances. Next up we have Nala, who is a great 1-cost body and Rapunzel target. Rapunzel is our only real draw in the deck, which can be just enough, but we only have Restoring the Heart and Porpsicles as our other 1-drops to cycle through the deck in the mid game, which usually won't come at too much of a cost, as we do have Ludwig ramping as well as another set 8 inclusion, Rolly, who we'll talk about later. Up next we have undoubtedly the MVP of the deck, Ludwig von Drake. Probably my new favourite card, this guy can win games on his own. Like I mentioned with all the Beyond the Horizon putting fear into the souls of Illumineers at the moment, Ludwig is a great counter to those decks. He can remove that song from your opponent's hand much like Ursula Deceiver, but he's even better than Ursula as he can hit those action cards to stop a Diablo shift, or even if you do miss the discard effect with Ludwig, when this card is banished he goes straight into your inkwell exerted, no questions asked. And ramping this dude on turn 3 can leave us with 5 ink on turn 4, which can be so important to either dump our hand or to slam down one of our big 5-drops. And joining Ludwig in the 2 ink spot is Lilo, Escape Artist, and Piglet. Two fantastic staples of Amber aggro decks that, with the inclusion of Lady Family Dog, can be played for free on turn 3 when using Lady's ability. Dumping your hand in this aggressive style can really be a great counter for the Beyond the Horizon meta we're moving into. Another incredible free cost option is the Kiwi Bird hero herself, Alice Savvy Sailor. Popping down an Alice on turn 3 with Ward can really give opponents issues, and Kiwi Bird players will know there's no Alice without Pluto. But we have 4 copies of Thunderbolt, who is unfortunately a 5-cost, but like I mentioned, we do have a fairly reliable way of getting him down on turn 4 with Ludwig's ramp. But even if you don't hit this Alice Thunderlock as I like to call it, we have so many other great lines on turn 4 like Rapunzel or the new Goofy who I've been testing out. At the end of your turn, Goofy can ready your damaged characters whilst healing them for 1 damage to protect them and get another quest out of them, which can be game winning in some situations. Unfortunately he can't ready them if they aren't damaged, so I have been looking at Sven as a potential replacement for Goofy, but it's not too much of an issue because a lot of the time on turn 4 you're either going to be looking to play Thunderbolt or Rapunzel, or maybe a double 2-drop. We've also got a couple of McDuck Manas in the deck, which can be really great into Emerald discard as they often don't have the board presence to deal with the mana. Now I haven't spoken about Belle yet. Belle can obviously be great on turn 1, but I personally would still opt for a Daisy if you have that option. Belle's in the deck just to give us more options in the early game. For example, if we miss Ludwig on turn 2, Porpsicle and Daisy or Nala and then playing a Belle for free can be such a powerful turn 2. But just playing a Porpsicle and threatening a Belle at any time can be really great. Another thing to consider is unlike Kiwi Birds, we don't have these incredible top deck options like Dock and Desperate Plan. So Porpsicle and Restoring the Heart are in here to draw us a card and cycle through the deck. And with discard being so rampant, this will be important. And if you don't know Restoring the Heart, it's a great set 7 card that hasn't seen much play yet. We can remove up to 3 damage from a character or location and draw a card. So great on an Alice or Thunderbolt, but also really useful for keeping manas going for another turn, which seems to be the best use of it from my playtesting. Okay, next we're going to talk about Baymax and Cogsworth, 2 auto inclusions that I've brought over from Kiwi. Cogsworth is the ultimate turn 5, as if we have some of our aggro pieces down, he gives them resist. Thunderbolt into Cogsworth can be incredible, and Alice Thunderbolt Cogsworth is even better. As for Baymax, he's a great top deck for us as he can heal up to 2 damage when he's played and gain up to 2 lore. And he's doing this whenever he quests, so he really synergizes with all those other damage removal cards we have in the deck. Okay, finally we'll talk about Rolly. Rolly has just the 2 copies, and honestly this card is the most likely to change in the deck. He's new to set 8 and would be great if we had a 6 cost to ramp 2 on turn 5, which honestly could end up being Tamatoa, but at the moment I found Tamatoa is a little unnecessary, but that could change. Rolly also has support. I like giving something like Ludwig or Bell an extra 2 strength, that can be really efficient. But I haven't found myself playing this card very much in testing. I'd be interested to know your thoughts on the card and maybe what you play instead down in the comments. Goofy's another 4 cost I'm not sure on, so any suggestion for that part of the deck would be great. So that's the deck in a nutshell. If you'd like me to do another video on some of the play lines I've been taking, let me know in the comments. As you can imagine, there are some incredibly good lines. My favourite at the moment has to be Daisy into Ludwig into Lady and Piglet on turn 3, getting the Ludwig banished on turn 3 so we can play Thunderbolt on turn 4 and protect that Piglet. Then on turn 5 playing a Rapunzel on the Thunderbolt to draw and replenish our hand, ready for another aggro dump. So yeah, it's safe to say I'm loving this deck and actually think it could do really well in the current meta. Maybe you disagree, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching the video everyone. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. The Dreamborn link is on the QR code or in the description. See you all next time for another video.